Are educators well prepared for this year's academic program? Should the Gauteng province's online registration system be revised? Did 2017 see timeliest delivery of learning materials and textbooks to all schools? What will it take for poor performing provinces to improve their metric results? What time is it? It's question time. Hello and welcome to the show. My name is Mpho. Today marked the official opening of schools across the country. Long queues of parents seeking school placement for their children have been a daily occurrence for a few days now, and today was by no means an exception. The Gauteng province has been under the spotlight with over 50,000 learners said to be still in limbo. While most parents are putting the blame on the online registration system introduced last year, the Provincial Education Department is blaming some parents for having waited until the last minute to secure space for their children. Meanwhile, authorities in KwaZulu-Natal on a side note are still trying to determine the cause of the crash in which 4 school children lost their lives in a bus crash outside Durban while on their way to the first day of school. We are live and therefore you can call us and air your views. The numbers to dial 0891104210, our Twitter handle at QuestionTime24. My guest, Olani Fagute, is the Secretariat Officer at the South African Democratic Teachers Union, SATU, and joining us from our Hatfield studio is Basil Manuel, Executive Director at NAPTOSA, the National Professional Teachers Organization of South Africa. Gentlemen, let me welcome you. You ready? 2017 is here?
Absolutely. We believe that we are ready. I mean, from a teacher's point of view, we believe that this marks the beginning of what should be a productive year. We know that, though, there's still a number of things which hopefully will be given an opportunity to highlight on your show today that we feel that are the bare minimums that at least must be achieved by all stakeholders in education. You would understand and appreciate that education, as we always say, is a societal issue.
Yeah.
It cannot be an issue limited to between the teacher and the learner in the classroom. It's a societal issue, and whereby all of us must take responsibility. But from the side of the teachers, we believe that, yes, there is still a lot more work that still needs to be done. There is still a lot of more improvements and interventions that need to be done in the context of the system. But for us, it's all systems go. We are ready to be in class, on time, to be prepared and to teach.
Let me go to Pretoria and NAPTOSA. Basil, are you ready? Are the educators ready for 2017?
Yes, I think so. I think people are revved up. We believe that by now everybody ought to be fully prepared for school for the first day. And most of our schools have started teaching today because they were able to settle down. Unfortunately, there are those areas where you can't settle down because there are hundreds of people in the foyer waiting for enrollment. And so that has an impact on exactly how well the school can kick off on the first day. But teachers are generally ready.
That's what I wanted to come to, given, and we're talking Gauteng only here, that almost 50,000 learners do not have classrooms or are not placed in any classrooms. How do you begin to teach?
Well, that's a serious problem because schools are inundated with people in the foyer. And it's not only in Gauteng, there's the Western Cape, there's parts of not Eastern Cape, but KZN as well. And the staff is caught up in doing that because the admin staff can't only do that. So until the issues are all resolved, the school never functions properly. And we must realize that this is a serious problem. Irrespective of what the cause may be, it does hamper the beginning of the school year.
What is going to make it, or rather make life easy for SATU to ensure that you produce best results this year?
Well, in our view, Mpho, it is all about all the stakeholders, particularly also from the side of the Department of Basic Education. It is all about everyone playing their role, what they have to do in the context of the system. For instance, as we speak right now as teachers in Limpopo, We know that in the areas of Sikukune, in the areas of Vembe, there is still a shortages of textbooks and the delivery of learning and teaching material. And we are saying that, I mean, this day and age, 22 years into democracy, surely that is unacceptable. Now, how then do you expect a teacher to function optimally in such a condition? And again, it moves more than that. Again, in the areas of Limpopo, which I'll refer to again, we still have got teacher shortages, right? Severe teacher shortages because of non-payments. All of this can be seen as unintended consequences of a particular instruction of the treasury in the province. And all of those things, they make the conditions quite difficult for us. I mean, infrastructure shortages, infrastructure backlogs that we're still talking to, despite all the other well-meaning interventions that the government might have come up with, but they are still there. So all that we're saying is that all of us in the system must be able to take accountability. We all knew that by September 2016, textbooks and learning teaching material must be in schools. So why, therefore, that there are schools in Sikukune and Vembe that still do not have textbooks?
Talking of Vembe, let's go to Limpopo and talk to John. John, welcome.
How are you, Matata?
No, it's not Matata, it's Mpo.
Yes, Mpo. I am calling from Limpopo and I'm very worried. Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
I'm very worried because today I am a teacher and we don't have the books for the learners delivered by the department. Sometimes back, the Minister of Education said she is going to make sure that we get the textbook, but until today, we don't have textbook. It's a shame in Limpopo. We're very much frustrated. And when you check in Vembe, we have got best schools there, but we still have got a lot of schools that are not performing well. And how do they expect us to perform if they don't bring us textbooks on time?
Whoa, John, I'll talk to Basil about it. Let's just hear your reaction to that.
That is absolutely accurate. That is precisely the information that we are receiving as well from our structures on the ground. That you've got schools that, as we speak, do not have the required material, particularly in that area of Bembe. And I believe that in some of our reports, we even saw the area of Vuani in particular. And you would know that the challenges that we faced last year in that particular area, and we're not expecting that. So it is indeed, it has taken us aback. But what we believe must happen, more importantly, is that there must be accountability. The problem with our system is that there isn't much of a sense of urgency because of the lack of consequences. When the results are bad, you are very quick to blame the teachers and say, no, it's SATU members who are doing 1, 2, and 3. But now when department officials themselves must take responsibility and accountability, very little is said about that. That is what concerns us. There must be, the MEC and the HOD in Limpopo must take full accountability for that.
Naptosa?
Absolutely. Our intelligence on the ground has been telling us about workbooks not delivered from primary schools. In the secondary schools, textbooks not delivered. And it's not only in Limpopo, but remember that Limpopo, KZN and the Eastern Cape are the 3 provinces that have not performed so well. And if we don't provide them with the resources, Eastern Cape, staffing is still not done. KZN, there are still teachers not appointed. Some schools are 4 teachers short. And then we must also focus even on the junior primary and the grade R teachers, where the grade R teachers are not being treated properly. A province like KZN has not paid them, has not given them an increase for 2016. And these are stipended people. And we know that we've made the point over and over again. If we don't get the foundation phase correct, we will not get the top correct. We keep looking at the matriculants, but it is in fact at the bottom where it begins. And provinces like KZN are not coming to the party insofar as that is concerned. And Naptosa is extremely concerned about that.
Mala, you are in Limpopo as well.
I'm
Ronald Gaino. Dad.
I just want to make a comment.
Go ahead.
Province very serious. If you reflect in Limpopo and check the status of the schools and go back to Gauteng, you will see that it seems like Gauteng is in America, Limpopo is in South Africa. Why did you check today bana ba sekolo ba butse ga gona le ka dipuku tse ileng gore ba tlo ngwalela ga tsona. I hear the secretary there is talking about the textbooks.
Yes.
But he was supposed to indicate also the issue of the dipuku tsa go ngwalela. Ga di total at all. Why the MEC Ishmael Khachep make it clear that the teaching materials and learners' books is not a big deal. Everything will be delivered to the schools before the learners can get to the schools. Even today, there is no
books or other facilities. Yes.
There is no many things, and they expect Sikukuni to improve their performance, more especially in matrix level. How can that performance be improved if there is no textbook, there is no written books, there is no teachers there?
Mal, thank you very much for that call. We're going to take a quick break. When we return, actually during the break, we're going to try and get hold of the MEC of Education in Limpopo, Ishmael Khachep. Let's see if we can get him and what he will have to tell us. It's unacceptable that indeed books are not delivered at this point or at this time of the year. This question time, we shall return shortly.
Africa becomes the new business frontier, bursting with opportunity and hope. With its rich natural resources and continental diversity, 11 million managers require development of executive management and business skills to unlock Africa's potential. Mancosa graduates have been driving business, entrepreneurship and innovation in Africa and the world. Mancosa. Dream it. We'll take you there.
Give me that paperwork. Give me that paperwork.
Where is your paperwork?
I don't know what's going on. Suddenly I'm locked up.
This is not fair. Center Dwasiezan. Not fair.
Who puts a rent at 200? I have to put like 200. Now we won. 150, 150 plus. In another one, 150.
I'm just the one to lock you out.
Yes, I just want to lock you out.
You are starting gangsterism.
No. No.
Welcome back. You are still watching Question Time. Indeed, you can call us and there you've used the numbers to dial 089-110-4210. My guest today, Xolani Fagude, Head of Secretariat Officer at South African Democratic Teachers Union, SATU, and from our Hatfield studio, Basil Manuel. He's the Executive Director of NAPTOSA. Let's go to Polokwane once more. John, you are in Polokwane.
Yes, I'm in Polokwane. Thanks for taking my call.
You are welcome.
Yeah, I'd like to comment about the SATU guys. SATU guys are really surprising me because they are always in alliance with this failing ANC government. The books are not, I'm one of the teachers in Limpopo, and I'm very sad about the fact that surely there are no books. The problem of books surely is a burning one. So why are the SATU guys continuing to support this corrupt government of the ANC? Because they themselves are also losing support. That's what I want to say. It's very sad that SATU is an alliance of the ANC that is failing us. So they're going to reconsider their situation of supporting the corrupt government. Thank you very much, Mpo. You are a good presenter, and God bless you. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, John. There, I didn't hear John very well there, but I'm not so sure if you did.
I did.
Okay,
actually.
go ahead.
I did actually. Well, it seems to me as if John really is trying to speak on the relationship that SATU, through COSATU, has with the ANC. And just briefly, it's a pity that is going to divert us from the real educational issues. But the fact of the matter is that as SATU, we are not apologetic with our relationship with the ruling ANC. We are not at all. I think we have made our case very strong that as much as there might be challenges currently, and challenges are going to continue to be there in any situation by all means. But the fact of the matter that in our view, of course this was not necessarily a political interview, but in our view, it remains the ANC that can take us where we want to get to.
No, I'm going to stop you.
We're not going to apologize for that. And I could see that John wanted me to go there.
No. I'm going to stop you. We're not talking about ANC.
I agree.
We're talking education.
Absolutely.
Let me leave you and go to Neptos. Neptos, I know you're not going to bring in ANC then.
No, I'm not going to talk politics.
Okay. It's not it's not only Limpopo which is experiencing these shortages of material or non-delivery of material.
No, it's not. And Limpopo has been highlighted now. But we must remember that there are schools that provide for themselves because they handle their own money, Section 21 schools, and Section 20 schools are provided for by the department. And in every province there are problems. But in the provinces where there are really rural issues, and I count Free State, I count KZN and the Eastern Cape, these are where a lot of our problems lie.
Okay.
But remember, textbooks and so on is only one part of the story. Personnel, teachers. If you don't have teachers in front of the class, then you are in real trouble. And that's where our biggest problem lies.
Okay, hold it there, Basil. Let me take, where are we going? Are we going to Pretoria? Musa, you are in Pretoria.
Hi, how are you?
I'm well, thanks for the call.
Yes, man. I want to talk to the comrade.
Yes, he's listening.
Yeah, I want the comrade to assist me on one thing.
Yes.
Yeah, leadership, man. I'm having a problem in terms of online application.
Yes.
Yes. I'm a teacher too.
Okay.
But when I registered the child the year before last, I was staying on that area, in that zone, in that primary school, next to that primary school. But I relocated away about 10 kilometers. But now when I take the child to grade 1, they told me that the system rejected the child because I'm no longer staying nearer to the school. But there are still learners who are in that school who are from the area where I'm staying now.
Maybe they didn't change the address.
Yeah, I changed the address. That's where they said at the school now, because I went to them later this afternoon. They told me that I must go to the district and check with the district because the child is no longer on their list.
Okay. Musa, thank you very much for the call. Let's see, how do you, because it would appear there's a problem with this online registration.
Well, seemingly there is. And in our view, those are some of the unintended consequences of what was otherwise an intervention with very good, well-meaning, because let us agree that it is somehow increased access, particularly to the higher quintile, or what we would call the former Model C schools. It has increased access for those that normally would struggle to get access into those schools. So clearly, it is an intervention that meant very well, but there are some serious problems that we feel might not have been well thought through when we first came up with when the department first introduced the system. It is our view, for instance, that some of the challenges that come in right now with that online system is that it is so impersonal to an extent that, and I want to reflect back on what Musa is saying. It is so impersonal to the fact that when a teacher applies and says that I prefer a school A, my second option is school B, my third option is school C. What you have, however, is a case whereby the system does not give you rapid feedback to say that no, but in school A, it is already full in any case. You might as well try focusing on school B and school C. It is only now that it is being done because we've now reached almost a crisis levels with the number of frustrated parents. You still have got other parents, for instance, that moving from grade R to grade 1, they were not aware that they will have to go back to that particular online system and do the application process again. So the system was well-meaning. It is an intervention that we welcome, and we hope, we still believe that it can still improve. It's just that there are unintended consequences that must be dealt with.
All right, let's go to our lines. Billy's in Limpopo, and by the way, we're trying to get hold of the MEC, Ishmael Khechepe. If anybody you're next to him, please just ask him to answer his phone. I'm told it's just ringing. Billy?
Tabela, le guy?
Go ahead, the guy. Okay.
Our deputy president on 404 ne address this other school in Free State say longori Sitieri 100%, I guess.
Yeah, one of the best performing, yes.
Yeah, so Leabona, so but I don't address those schools they perform very well. Then they are not visiting them, Leabona.
Well,
So,
Steve Compella said it very well.
Yes.
Just performable to get you one.
Just the performance, I guess that individual like above 50%.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Okay.
those schools, in Limpopo, like I was surprised when my younger brothers, they come home without books, like I was prepared to help them. So instead of those government, but they were assisting. Education in Limpopo improve even on high level, just like Gauteng, and just like right now, Arena Lady tablet, the grade 12 arena, but in Gauteng, the education is different from Limpopo. So the government but there is something.
Okay, Billy, thank you very much. Billy, they're calling us from Limpopo saying, look, we need help here in Limpopo. There's no books that were given or handed out probably in some schools throughout the province. And like I said, we are trying to get hold of the MEC, Ismail Khechepe, just to hear what he has to say about this matter, but he's not answering his phone. And in fact, I know that we had invited him, he had agreed, and then later pulled out. So we don't know what are the reasons. But let me just bring in Naptosa here. What is going to be the solution? How do we keep the educators motivated under these difficult circumstances? We know that you say you're not well paid, but also this conditions, lack of facilities are also contributing to low morale.
Absolutely. The one thing I can say is that teachers are resilient. If they weren't, we would have seen them leave the system in their thousands. And we've got to actually fall on our knees and thank God that we've got so many resilient teachers who teach under harrowing circumstances. There are so many schools that are not fit for people to inhabit. Our teachers are there. We focus on the children, but we must also remember that for every child, there's a teacher. And to keep the morale high, we as teacher unions, and Naptosa goes out, we talk good. We encourage them, we tell them tomorrow will be better. But 22 years later, it hasn't been better. And we are running out of reasons why schools haven't been built, why schools are overcrowded, and so on. So the government must come to the party.
Hold it there. Itimeleng, welcome.
Thank you, Umbo.
Yeah.
Umbo, I think SABC should start contesting for elections because they no longer fight for good quality education and for teachers' rights. They are no longer there. They are a political party. So I think Mr. Fakude there is very much out of touch with reality. I don't know where he stays because of one thing that I know. He stays in South Africa. He sees what we see. He experiences what we experience. So he must stop saying those things are not there. Their aim is for political gain. It's no longer educational gain. Thank you very much.
Itimeleng, thank you very much for that call. And indeed, we've run out of time. But perhaps the profession is it's not seen as very lucrative. As a result, teachers from other countries like Zimbabwe are the ones who are coming to the rescue. How do you motivate young people to enroll for teaching?
It is an extremely difficult task. And I think that even my colleague from Naptosa, Mr. Basil, also referred to that. We've got instances whereby because of the infrastructure shortages, for instance, the infrastructure backlogs, we see those as acts that do nothing but to demoralize teachers and discourage teachers. I mean, this day and age, just very briefly, we are still talking of the 0.5% disparity in pay progression. Other public servants get 1.5%, teachers 1%. That discourages teachers, it demobilizes them, but nonetheless, we are still in class on time and are teaching.
Thank you very much. Basil, thank you very much for the time as well. And we wish you all the best in your endeavors as you educate the nation.
Thank you very much.
That was question time for today. A big thank you to my guests and to you for watching the show. From me and the crew, you have yourself a wonderful time.
Lesotho Queen Masinate led Remembrance Sunday celebrations in the capital of Lesotho, Maseru.
This is the Makwanyane Square. It is a monument established to pay tribute to Basotho soldiers who fought and died in the 2 world wars.
Lesotho played a key role supporting British forces during the war.
Use of intravenous drugs such as heroin are on the rise on the Cape Flats. That's according to employees of a local drug treatment facility, the Sultan Bahu Center.
The facility treats 132 people on a daily basis through its community-based program.
I don't say the area is bad, it's how the drugs is so bad.
So we are saying to them, if you have that issue, come to us, contact us.
We make sure to be where news is happening,
both locally and globally. For the latest business news, stay with us.
From South Africa to the world, we've got all your latest sporting news.
Don't miss our weather updates every hour.
Stay tuned to News Today, Monday to Friday, from 3 to 5:30 p.m. here on SABC News.
What are the qualities of a good policeman?
In the police, we look at the overall wellness of police, not just physical well-being, but also mental well-being, also looking at economical well-being, and also looking, and the physical well-being is not just about exercise and dieting, but it's also about the health and safety aspects of our members.
Nursing is a caring profession.
It's important for us to make our communities aware of those criteria, that there's academic criteria and there's some personal attributes that are all considered before a nurse is allowed to enter into a nursing qualification.
If not resolved, challenges in work environments can lead to depression.
We talk about work-life balance, and it's very important that also, if you are going through or you are in a very stressful work, when you are not at work, what is it that you are doing to take care of self?
Join Health Talk every Saturday for all your health news.
What was, the week like in terms of CITES?
I saw there was a news insert about there being genetically engineered sort of rhino horns that have been introduced now. And then that is sort of now being rejected. They're saying that it's sort of going to promote poaching as per se.
The concern that's been raised by law enforcement in that particular regard has been that how do you distinguish between the original and the fake?
Yes.
Because it's going to make it difficult to police.
The rhino horn is the same quality as the nail. If you want something from the rhino horn, just cut your nail and do whatever. What was most striking for me was how the pangolin came into the picture. And that was interesting for me because a few years ago in Zimbabwe, if you found a pangolin and you handed it over, you would have an audience with the president.
Wow.
Yeah, and you would be given a certain amount of money. And once that program started, almost every week there was somebody who was getting an audience with the president.
Animation, virtual reality and games. We have all of that and other technology and social media news.
I've got the full version of the game at home, so I play it a lot at home.
We also tell you how Africans are using tech to improve their lives.
We have to close the digital gap.
So join us on Network for your African technology and social media news. That's Network with Ms. Phumelele Zondi every Sunday at 7:30 p.m. Central African Time.
very good evening to you and welcome to Business News Prime Time, a special broadcast for you this evening because whether you or I like him or not, we have to listen to what Donald Trump is saying from here on in. The US President-elect is about to address the American people, and tonight's address will be the first press conference since his election win. Now, investors will be hanging on to every word. US markets have risen by 5% since that election, and the dollar has soared since Trump's win. That's on bets that he plans to spend on infrastructure and cut tax, and that'll lead to higher inflation in the US. This could, of course, lead to the Federal Reserve raising interest rates faster this year, which will make the US dollar even more attractive. Emerging markets like our own, however, will become less